Hello. So the last thing I want to talk about in this initial series for Proclaim, because I think that we've already covered a lot of it, how to use it and how to actually get to the point to do your first, broadcast or whatever you want to call it, presentation with it. But the last thing I want to really talk about are some of the other items that you can add. So number one, we didn't cover this, but you have image slideshows. By clicking this, you can simply upload various images and you can import them right here, and I don't have really any images on my computer. I could, I guess, bring in these screenshots, but anyway, I'm not going to, but you can see it would bring those in and then you would have that. Now this brings up another point, and this is kind of an important point with media, is that with media you have a couple of different things. When you import media, you can import your images and video, your audio, even videos you can import. And what it does is it uploads it to the Proclaim cloud for only you to access. It's not public. You can make it public. But for example, if I uploaded this image right here, it's not public, but if I added that, then it's now in my library. So if I browse media and I click group upload, I would see that somewhere in here. Let me see, sort by newest. And then yes, so here's that I just added. You can delete this if we wanted to. We could delete it, we could export it, but the point is this is now in the cloud, so it's permanently in there. If I just wanted to add it to use on this computer only, when I imported that image, I could say use on this computer only. So this means that if somebody else downloaded this presentation, who was in the group with us here, they would not be able to actually pull down this file. And so just be aware of that. You have to be online for that to work. The other types of stuff that you can add are web pages. So if you wanted to pull up an address, for example, maybe your church website, you can also a lot of times kind of try to pull in videos through YouTube and stuff. I find that to be very challenging. Here's our church website as an example. Okay, so I pulled up the web page here and I made the preview just a little bit larger. On the actual preview window, what people on the screen would be seeing, they would see the web page. You can control that. You can actually click on different links inside of this. It's almost like a small web browser, and so that would update here. The program can get a little bit odd. I'll just kind of be honest with the web page stuff. So it is updating, but I would not rely heavily on that type of item. I've had honestly a little bit of difficulty with that. Okay, so additionally, you have Bible trivia. We covered that. You have survey. This one's a little bit trickier to use, but you do have a survey. And the way it works is you have to use this signal thing. So let me actually create a question. We'll just say test question and then A, B, C, and D. Just so you can get an example of how this looks. And that looks fine to me. And then what it does is it creates this signal so anyone who has like the Faith Life app would be able to see this. The problem that I've kind of found with this is that I wish there was a link here, because not everybody uses that app, and so a better way for this to work would be with a QR code. People could scan it and then go submit their answer. I know there's issues with that as well, but this is kind of how it would work. You can also do survey results, which it says there's no corresponding survey question item found, and so you have to click. You have to undo the show results live, and then that's why the results would show here. So, but if you have show results live, then you don't need the survey results item. Okay, so with that being said, that's pretty much all the items. We've covered them all. There are cues, and these do different things. So you can start a timer or stop a timer. So maybe after the service ends, you would actually, inside of this item, you would do add, cue, start confidence timer, and then maybe at the end of the sermon, stop it. So stop it. And then this way you could have that timer start. So count down or count up to, whatever. You could say, if they only had 30 minutes, you could type in 30 minutes and you could say count down for 30 minutes. And it says from service start, which isn't exactly accurate. So you could just say duration, 30 minutes. Okay, it's pretty smart with that. And then what this would do is when we hit this, and let me actually show you. So on the confidence monitor, we don't even have the timer set up. So to set that up, you actually have to click on default confidence, and then you have to add the timer. So it can get kind of confusing to do this. The long story short of it is what you have to do is make sure that you're using the default template. You can edit the template, but it has to have, and I don't want to get into so many details here, but you have to have the timer enabled on there. So there's different options you can use for the confidence monitor. You can just have a huge clock. You can have the default, which is kind of what we've been looking at. Large lyric preview, presenter view, which shows kind of the current slide and the next slide and their timer. You can just have just the timer. And so as an example, I'll do just the timer just so you can see what we're working with. And unfortunately I didn't save that, so let me fix that. Oh no, it did save in fact. Okay, and so what we would do is when the song was kind of going, let's see here, at the end of that song, and actually that timer did not save that way, but anyway, what we would do is go here, and then as you can see, the timer started, so 29:54 and all that. And then if we had another item past this, or if we moved the timer to here, then when we went to the next slide, the timer went away. So that's kind of how that works, where the timer starts right here, but it's only counting in items and time spent on slides within those queues. There's other queues as well. You have different ones for starting and stopping recording. That's a more advanced feature where you can pipe in audio from your sound system into Proclaim and actually record it in here. You can set stage direction, so if there is something important that you want to have on that confidence monitor, you can have that direction automatically show up. And you can also start and stop a live stream. This is a new beta feature. It's not currently available on Mac, as you can see. But maybe in our advanced course, we'll look at that on the Windows machine. So those are pretty much all the items. And on the media, we've already kind of looked at that. There is ways to create custom media, but you have a ton of stuff that's included. If you're using this, I would highly recommend that anytime you do it, you just click Owned. This way you're only seeing stuff that you actually have access to, and that that you don't have to purchase and pay additional for. Okay, so that's really that. One final thing I'll just show you is that on the on any kind of item in the thing, you can go to this confidence tab at the top, and we can override the default template and choose, if we just want the clock to show here or whatever. We kind of set that default confidence here, and you'd have to apply it to all items inside, since we already created these items. But moving forward, for example, if I click items and then I added a new song, that's the default here. So if we wanted it to apply, then we would just go to settings, default, apply to all items. It's taking a second, and now it's applied, as you can see. I'm going to put it back to the default though. Alright, perfect. So with that being said, that really kind of concludes that. There's nothing else to really show you in terms of using the software. It's pretty straightforward. We'll cover more stuff in our advanced course, but if you've enjoyed this, or if it's been helpful, or if you're going to use Proclaim, leave a comment below. Let me know. If you have questions, I'll try to answer them as best and as quickly as I can. Thank you very much. Hope you have a great, blessed rest of your day.